My name is Amelia, 35 years old. I've been married to Ryan for 10 years. Our long-awaited daughter, Aria, has turned 4, and we were living a busy yet peaceful life. However, that routine changed last week. Ryan recently has been feeling dizzy with frequent headaches, so I urged him to go to the hospital.
You're exaggerating. You're just a little tired.
But it's too late if something happens. I persuaded my reluctant husband to go to the hospital.
Your family should come with you to hear the results.
Hearing this from the doctor made me break out in a cold sweat. It can't be good news if the family is called.
Please stay calm and listen carefully.
The diagnosis was a well-known intractable disease. My mind went blank. I should be the one supporting my husband, but he was the one supporting me, preventing me from falling. Will he be cured?
We can't be sure. We'd have to treat it as soon as possible, though. It would be better to start intensive treatment with hospitalization soon.
We were able to go home together that day, but he had to be hospitalized the next week.
I'll explain to my boss tomorrow and ask for a leave.
Okay.
Amelia, I'm sorry.
Don't apologize.
We still have our daughter to raise, but the treatment costs seem large. And that's why...
We've both been working for times like this, eh? Get well soon with proper treatment. Promise. I interrupted my husband's words. According to the doctor, the treatment will cost about $2,000 a month. I earned a decent amount as an accountant, and although I'm currently working reduced hours for childcare, changing to regular hours should make things manageable. My husband was holding back his tears at my words. Fortunately, the company granted him a leave of absence. It's a relief not having to quit my job, although we don't know how long the treatment will take. He said this and headed for the hospital for recovery.
Where's Daddy?
Daddy will be away for a while. He's going to fight his illness. Do you think you can cheer him on?
But will he come back?
Of course. I explained this to our young daughter. She was a daddy's girl and would cry missing him, but she seemed to understand when I comforted her. I switched from part-time to full-time and started working as much as I could. I enjoyed working and found it fulfilling. However, I couldn't focus solely on my job without my husband around. The thought of making my daughter feel lonely because I came home late, especially without my husband, was overwhelming. I couldn't help wishing my parents' home was closer. They lived so far that I had to take a plane to visit them. When I explained my husband's illness to my parents, they said to let them know if I needed anything, but they were also working. It was not possible for them to come here. Earning for my husband's treatment while thinking about my child, when I was about to break down, the phone rang.
Amelia, are you okay?
Oh, hello. It was my mother-in-law, who lived about 20 minutes by car from us. Ryan avoided getting close to his parents, so we only interacted during the holidays or family gatherings, and I didn't know much about my in-laws. He told me that there was no need to interact too much, but I wasn't sure if those words were out of concern for me. I was relieved that she called, probably because we had told her about her son's illness. That made me spill out my anxieties. The anxiousness of seeing Ryan go through his illness, the cost of treatment, the pressure of balancing work and parenting by myself. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It must have been tough.
My mother-in-law comforted me and listened to me talk. I feel a bit relieved after talking.
Oh.
Hmm?
I can take care of your daughter. And you said balancing work and parenting was tough, right?
But
it'll be much better for her than staying alone at home.
I was not given a chance to argue, and I ended up thinking she might be right. I'm sorry I'm late. When I went to pick my daughter up at my in-laws, she ran up to me. She fell asleep in my arms as if relieved. Feeling reassured, I hugged her, and my mother-in-law appeared shortly after.
Well, you've been working late.
Thank you for your support until so late at night.
Don't worry about it. But you know, I'm desperately keeping my old body going while watching my grandchild.
Yes. My mother-in-law sighed with a troubled look. I just hugged my daughter, tied her as I nodded, looking for words to answer back.
So, could you perhaps consider some compensation?
Money, you mean?
Oh no, did it sound like that?
When I started leaving my daughter with my in-laws, I brought some assorted sweets to show my thanks, but I recall my mother-in-law asking if that was all. I intended to pay all necessary expenses with gratitude, but I was surprised when she asked if that was all I had. But reconsidering my position of requesting for help, I complied and paid $100, then $200, and eventually I was giving her about $300 a month. Yet, she is asking for more. How much would be enough?
Well, about $700 a month would be good.
$700? That's more than double what I'm currently paying. Considering my husband's treatment and our living expenses, we can't afford to give $700 every month. That's...
You know, I want to help too. My grandchild is adorable and it's for my precious son. You understand, right?
My mother-in-law said with an apologetic look. I was speechless as I took a look at my daughter sleeping in my arms. I couldn't leave my daughter alone at home. I hesitated to leave her with a babysitter or someone else, as I wondered if staying with my in-laws would be better for her. Okay. My mother-in-law smiled brightly.
We're family after all. We should help each other out.
How are you feeling?
Much better. The doctor said the new medicine seems to be working.
Oh, that's good. When I visited the hospital with some new clothes and snacks, my husband, who looked much better than at the beginning of his hospitalization, greeted me. He seems to be recovering gradually, and the doctor is pleased with his progress.
How's Arya? Is she not feeling lonely?
She keeps asking when you'll be back.
Well, then I need to get better soon for Arya.
Please do.
I'm really sorry for the trouble, Amelia.
Don't apologize. Getting better is what matters most, I said with a smile as he bit his lip.
Work must be tough, right? What's Arya doing while you're at work?
I hadn't yet told my husband that I was leaving our daughter with his parents, nor about the money I was sending. I didn't want to worry him, given his illness.
Amelia?
I'm sorry.
What's wrong?
As he looked into my worried face, I finally told him the truth. The struggle of balancing work and parenting. Being reached out by my mother-in-law to take care of our daughter. Being asked for more and more money. I'm sorry for making these decisions on my own. Listening to me, my husband frowned deeply.
It's my fault. I didn't realize how much you were struggling.
He said, comforting me by stroking my shoulder.
I'll take care of it,
he said with a determined look. I no longer need you to take care of her from tomorrow.
Oh, is that so?
A week after discussing with my husband, I told my mother-in-law when I went to pick up our daughter, after asking her to get into the car first. Yes, we found a good babysitter, and I think that'll be better for our daughter.
Is that so?
She seemed uninterested in our conversation, responding nonchalantly.
Oh, I received a call from Kayla.
Kayla?
Yes. Ryan's older sister. She lives in England now.
I had only met Ryan's sister Kayla once at our wedding, so I barely knew her. She's been working in research in England and rarely comes back to the U.S. She is spoken of highly by my in-laws and Ryan.
She's coming back soon. It's just a visit, though.
Oh, that's nice.
So it worked out well.
My mother-in-law started bragging about her daughter. I see, so that's the kind of person she was.
She says she would send money because it must be hard for me.
Oh.
So I won't be needing to suck on my son's finances.
She laughed triumphantly.
You pretend to work hard, but you're just probably living off my son's insurance money, right? Thinking you could slack off while leaving your child with me? Such a shameless mother. She rattled on about her feelings, but I was just letting her words flow over me. I understand, and I won't send you any more. With such little money, I couldn't do much anyway. Kayla will surely give me a substantial amount. I was sending the money as necessary expenses, and thanks for taking care of my daughter. How did you use the money, though? Just a little shopping and a drink, and it's gone in no time. I haven't even been able to go to the restaurant I've always wanted to visit, nor could I buy the luxury bag I wanted. Without any remorse, she said this and closed the door on me, as if chasing me away. The money I earned while making my daughter feel lonely turned into my mother-in-law's play money. Thinking this made me feel helpless. The next day, when I went to visit my husband's hospital room, it was chaotic outside.
What's happening outside?
As I was talking to my husband, the door burst open with a loud noise. There stood my mother-in-law, furious.
Mom?
You! What did you say?
Ignoring my husband, she yelled straight at me. A nurse hurriedly followed her from behind, but she brushed off the nurse's hand and approached me aggressively. What is this about?
Well, how pretentious. You said something to Kayla, didn't you?
Forgetting this is a hospital room, she raised her voice. I didn't say anything.
Stop lying. If it wasn't for you, she wouldn't say that she won't give me money. And somehow I got kicked out of the house, too.
My agitated mother-in-law was panting heavily. Watching her, I spoke calmly again. I really didn't say anything.
Don't you dare lie.
She was furious. Then my husband spoke up.
I was the one who said it.
What?
Her mouth hung open in surprise.
I called Kayla. I didn't want to worry her, so I didn't say anything for a while, but I contacted her recently.
And what does that have to do with anything?
She still couldn't grasp the situation.
Well, she said she was planning to send some money because, with me being sick, she thought you must have a tough time supporting me. But since we stopped leaving our daughter with you, there's really no point in giving you money.
Then, Amelia, you should reconsider leaving your daughter with a babysitter and have me take care of her again.
I was aware of it, but seeing my mother-in-law's lack of concern for our family, especially for her son, left me utterly disgusted. It seemed my husband felt the same.
There's no way I'd leave her with you. Planning to use the allowance in gratitude just for yourself?
What are you saying?
She glared at me again. It's wrong to blame me, but perhaps I'm the most hated person here.
You said something unnecessary.
Stop blaming Amelia. It's all your fault.
I heard my husband raise his voice for the first time. Apparently it was her first time too, and she seemed shocked as her eyes widened.
We should have cut ties properly.
Ryan? What are you saying?
Since high school, you've been taking my part-time earnings, and I never really had pocket money. Even during college, you kept telling me how much it cost to raise me and how much trouble I caused, and demanded to pay it back.
Of course, that's normal.
I grimaced, recalling the old stories my husband told me. He had been exploited by his mother for a long time. From high school, when he started working part-time, his earnings were taken away by her, and it continued even in college. He realized something was wrong when he started working and living alone.
Did Dad know that you were taking money from me?
Your father has nothing to do with this.
He's a decent man. If he knew you were taking money from me, he wouldn't have allowed it.
My husband realized it must have been solely his mother's decision at the time. His father, an executive in a company, seemed not to have any financial troubles. When talking about university, his father happily told him to go where he wanted. He allowed his son to attend the university he wanted without needing any financial help. But once he became a working adult and returned home, his mother demanded money from him whenever his father was away.
I thought I owed you for taking care of me, so I just decided to keep my distance. I didn't tell Dad or Kayla either.
From then on, he kept away from his parents. Even after getting married, he continued to keep his distance because he never knew what might happen.
It ended up like this because I left it vague. But to do this to my family?
Ryan? I'm also family, right? I've been family with you much longer than this woman over here. You are my flesh and blood. Paying back for raising you is just natural.
Did you even visit once after finding out I was sick? Were you worried?
Of course.
You weren't worried. You were just exploiting my illness to take more money. How is that family?
I put my hands on my husband's shoulder as he raised his voice. I was worried about him getting too excited, but couldn't stop him.
We're cutting ties with you.
What? What are you saying?
Don't show up in front of me or my family again.
Please, Ryan!
My mother-in-law collapsed, but no one tried to support her. Then my father-in-law and sister-in-law, who had come pick her up, took her away. We knew she might come to the hospital room since we kept in touch with them. My husband wanted to talk to his mother properly one last time so they didn't disturb us.
I'm truly sorry about what happened.
I'm sorry for everything, too. After my mother-in-law left, my father-in-law and sister-in-law came back to apologize. I thought they were not to blame, but they apologized for not noticing my mother-in-law's actions. My father-in-law was not informed about my husband's illness. He was only told that they were taking care of their granddaughter. Ryan's sister, Kayla, who moved to England while still young, didn't know her younger brother was treated like that by their mother.
Ryan, I can't believe I let you go through that as a child, and I feel so bad about it. I was wrong for not speaking up. I'm grateful for you letting me go to college and for letting me do the studies I wanted to pursue.
Soon after, my mother-in-law and father-in-law divorced. My mother-in-law apparently complained endlessly, but her embezzlement and debts were uncovered, and she was giving a divorce decree. It seems the money from the property division was also used to pay off her debts. Now she seems to live alone in an old apartment. My father-in-law and sister-in-law helped us with the treatment costs and in many other ways. I think it was also their way of apologizing. They even returned the money my husband had been extorted and the money I had sent to my mother-in-law. My husband recovered steadily and was able to be discharged from the hospital.
I'm back. Thank you for everything, Amelia.
He said that and hugged me and our daughter tightly. While almost crying, I savored the happiness. This moment is not to be taken for granted. I want to cherish being together and live happily with my family close by my side.